Hi guys, and welcome back to my page. It's your girl A the Poet, and we're back with another poetry and me video. And today we are joined by Taneisha, aka the Secret Feminist. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, so I'm Taneisha, aka the Secret Feminist. I haven't been doing poetry for that long. Well, I've been doing poetry for a long time, but I've only recently, in the last year or so, started kind of putting my work out there. So I set up an Instagram account to share my poetry work. But I've actually been writing poetry since I was a kid.
So when did you start writing? Do you remember? And what made you start writing poetry?
I've always been like into writing. I also kind of do music, so I used to write a lot of songs when I was younger as well. So it kind of stemmed from there. Mm-hmm. But on the poetry side, I feel like with songs, you can get creative, but with me, my mind is so creative that it was kind of limiting me in terms of writing songs only, because obviously it's going to sound a bit weird if you're writing about certain things in the song. So I kind of started branching out and just writing like poems. And it wasn't necessarily, I wasn't really writing about things that I was experiencing, but just stuff that would come to my head. For example, one of the first poems I remember writing was to do with like relationships. And this was when I was like 12. I never had but yeah, it was about like a broken relationship. So yeah, but it's like funny because now I look back on that poem, I'm like, I can totally relate, girl.
You were ahead of your time. You were a 12-year-old. I know. So what's your writing process like, and how have you seen that writing process develop? Do you think you have the same kind of process that you had when you were younger to now?
Interestingly, I think it's still pretty similar. In the sense that I kind of rely on feeling inspired to write my poetry. But I have been kind of, in the last year or so, I've been trying to kind of dabble with trying to like focus my mind on writing. So not just waiting on that feeling of inspiration, because usually I just wait to feel inspired, wait for something to come to mind. But I went to a poetry workshop, I think last year, like a year ago. And it was really interesting because obviously it was an environment where you just had to come up with something on the spot about a topic that you didn't choose. And I think that really helped me. So now, whilst I do rely on inspiration, I feel like I'm more capable of just kind of like sitting down. If I feel like I want to produce content, kind of sitting down and coming up with something which would be helpful in the future, because I do want to kind of go into doing like writing specific pieces for people and stuff like that. So that will be kind of helpful in the future when it comes to that side of things.
Nice. That sounds like growth. That sounds there's been like a nice progression in your writing and like how you're writing your pieces. So it'd be good to, I think this is a good opportunity to now hear one of your first pieces that you'd like to share. And tell us a bit more about the piece, what inspired it, and what's it called?
So it's a poem I wrote, was it this year? Was it towards the end of last year? I don't remember, but it's called Enslaved to the Pain. Quite heavy. And what inspired it is, it kind of talks about like, I guess, mental health. A lot of my work tends to kind of relate to like mental health issues, anxiety, depression. So it's kind of like my take on that, and it kind of talks about like trauma and just like hardships in life. So yeah, just try. I don't think I've actually ever read this aloud. Wow. Okay. So this will be
exclusive.
So this is called just make this Enslaved to the Pain. Okay. Enslaved to the pain. Chains of trauma and heartache are keeping me trapped. I stumble through fields of loneliness and isolation, destroying all roots of joy and watering the crops of sorrow with an incessant flow of salty tears. Perhaps they will provide temporary shelter from the floods of terror that have been coursing through my brain. Enslaved to the pain, a victim of violence, a victim of no name, abused and neglected, a prisoner of shame, whipped by deception and branded with inadequacy and disdain. Masters of anxiety and fear dictate my whereabouts. They control my thoughts and inhabit my body, forcing me to withdraw and causing me to abstain from love, from freedom, from peace. Enslaved to the pain, I'm a hostage to my past. Will my future be more of the same?
Will it be the same? Oh, nice. Oh, I felt that. Oh, I feel like, I don't know, I think I'm biased when it comes to, I feel like that was a whole different experience, that poem, because I've read that poem before on your Instagram at _secret_feminist. I've read that poem and I feel like it was a completely different experience hearing it with you saying it. So I feel like I understand it better. I understand what you were trying to convey a lot better, hearing it coming from you rather than hearing it in my own head. I was painting a completely, not completely, but a different picture, different journey. Whereas your journey, it's the journey that we were meant to go on. And that was will it be the same? Will it? Oh, yeah, beautiful. Oh, amazing. So what are you doing now? So where do you see your poetry going in the future?
I'm kind of in a headspace where I was speaking to someone the other day and they were actually asking me the same question, and I was actually thinking, like, where do I want to go with this? Because writing is like one of my biggest passions in life, especially writing poetry. And you know, it would be nice someday to feel like, okay, I've got a body of work or a collection of work that I want to put out there to share with the world, whether it's in a book format or whether it's like a specific poem shared in a different, like a collection somewhere. So yeah, it would be nice to see my work, you know, published, whether it's just on in ebook format or in bookstores or whatever it is. I think down the line or whenever it happens, I'm open to happening at any point.
You've just manifested it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, really. You've spoken it and it's gonna happen. And we'll see you a couple of years down the line and we'll be like, look back at this interview and you'll be like, oh, I did say that that's what I wanted to do, and look at that, it's happened. Yeah, for sure. I hope, fingers crossed. Well, yeah. No, even fingers crossed. It's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
Full stop, period. Okay, that's cool. It'd be great to hear the second poem that you wanted to share as well.
Okay, yeah. It being called I Dare You, but that's just that's kind of like an unofficial title.
Okay,
because I don't think I ever fully named it, but yeah, let's just say I Dare You.
Okay. Look at that, nice.
Excuse me. So, I am the face of the moon. I pale in comparison to brighter constellations. But to some, I am the light cutting through the darkness of our very existence. I lead more than I follow. I do not ask for anything. In fact, I give more than I take. In the black of night, I will soar like a shooting star and become the highlight of your life. In the brightness of day, I fall back and let the real stars do their thing. I am constant, yet you cannot track my movements. My thoughts quiver like a haze of clouds, parting to show the glow of a celestial body. I am eternal, yet I only exist in a moment of time. Come and find me, I dare you. Let us mold our shape and become one against the backdrop of an incandescent sky. Let us create new moments more powerful than the speed of light. Let me show you the shimmer of my limbs in the twinkle in my eye. Let me scintillate your presence through being present and present you with the presence of my love and time. Let me set ablaze your heart like a Californian wildfire and be your rock. I promise that I will rock your world. Mount me like Everest and let my thoughtfulness wash over your wounds of insecurity. Call me Victoria, but don't let me fall. Come and find me, I dare you.
Allow the clicks. Allow the clicks. That's my favorite. I know you're not meant to have favorites, but that's my favorite.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Years back. No, yeah, that was a really good. Yeah.
It's completely different, yeah, from the other.
That was a completely different vibe, but still, nonetheless, still really up there. Really likes that. Guys, please go and check her out at the_secret_feminist on Instagram. So that was really good. So one of my questions, my last question, second to last question. What made you enter the world of Instagram? So what made you go from, just writing your poems for yourself and putting them out there for the world?
I think I had been wanting to share my stuff for quite a while. And I had actually been working on a blog. Still have not published yet.
Soon come.
I'm going to manifest that too. Yeah. But I've been working on a blog for a long time, and something's just been holding me back. Like I don't know what it is, but I just haven't published a blog yet. Yeah. So one day I was just sat down and I thought, why don't I just put it on Instagram? Because it's a much easier way for me to share it. It takes 2 seconds to create. Yeah. And I do want to share my stuff. Just first of all, so I can have a place where I think the first thing with me is just to have a place where I can have my work, like for my own kind of like a portfolio, but my own kind of space, like for my own collection of things. Yeah. And secondly, just to connect with other poets, connect with other writers. Maybe I can share something in my experience or tell someone else's story that kind of really gives them a different viewpoint or makes them feel like they've been seen or heard or visible. Yes. Because that's what poetry does for me. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what inspired me to want to share it, because I felt like if I can read like other people's poetry and feel so many things and feel like it's really kind of like helping me or kind of like making me feel understood, then I want to do the same as well for others. Yeah. And I feel like I've got a lot of stories to tell, and I feel like, as writers, I feel like we've all been given a gift, and I do want to share that with the world and kind of share my perspective on different things.
Yeah, and we're definitely interested to hear your perspective, especially with the two things that you touched on today with, the depression and anxiety. And that's something that a lot of people are going through at the present moment in, what's happening in the world with the pandemic and whatnot. It's a very lonely time. So things that are accessible, such as Instagram, Twitter and whatnot, those are a really nice portal for you to kind of escape from your everyday life and feel like, I'm not the only one to go through this. So definitely appreciate. I always say this to other poets. I always say that I appreciate you for putting out your work and helping others, because a lot of poets don't know that's what they're doing. So in case you've never been told, we appreciate you for your work and we appreciate what you're doing and all the words that you're putting out, because it's putting yourself out in a vulnerable position, sharing what you're feeling inside. And so we appreciate you for being that vulnerable and being selfless to helping others in their journey and sharing your own journey. So last question, if you could spend 24 hours with one person, dead or alive, who would you spend it with and why?
Ooh, that is an interesting question.
Yeah.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
I think I feel like this is going to sound so crazy, but it would have to be my favorite musician, my favorite artist, which is a rapper, Lil Wayne.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like, I think, I don't know, I would love to spend time with him, see the way he kind of puts together his music, because the thing I love most about him, and he's actually someone who, it's weird, but the way he writes, like, he's kind of known for his wordplay and like the way he puts lyrics together. Like, when you actually listen to like his albums and like listen to some of the deeper things he talks about,
Yeah.
some of his songs have actually helped me through like my darkest moments, and it's inspired like my writing, because I kind of hear the story in what he's saying, and I'm like, wow, that's really, really deep. Like, I think one of the songs called Drop the World, like, if you listen or read the lyrics, it's literally like a poem. But yes, I really appreciate his writing and his like creativity and his artistry. Nice. So I'd love to like just go hang out with him, see his whole thought process, and see how he puts that together, and just like maybe like just have like fun, make a song together, or like write poems together or something.
I mean, you're 24 hours, you can write a song together if you want. Yeah, nice. Oh, that's nice. We haven't had Lil Wayne yet. And I feel like,
or like
the way that you kind of, your thought process behind it, I really like that. Yeah. And like his song How to Love, that song is deep.
Very
deep, like lyrically deep. I think I was like maybe 14 when it first came out.
Yeah.
So it, like, to this day I still feel like, it's like wow. Yeah.
Got those like deep songs like Mirror as well. Yeah, like, it's so weird, because I mean there's loads of people I'd want to spend 24 hours with, like loads of like more, I guess, people that are doing things around the world as well. But yeah, like, that's kind of the first person that came to my head. So
okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us in today's session, and for you to share. Thank you for sharing your poetry. Guys, definitely go and check out Taneisha, aka The Secret Feminist, on Instagram. All of her socials will be in the description bar below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending where you're watching. Appreciate you guys for still tuning in to the Poetry and Me sessions. Have a great day. See you later.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.